What's up everybody? This is Clayton with Boards on Nord. I'm here to introduce you guys today to the Landyachtz time machine. Now if any of you guys are familiar at all with the Landyachtz switch, you're going to notice some pretty cool similarities right there. And the biggest difference is going to be in overall length. The time machine is going to be 38 inches, which is about 3.5 inches shorter than the switch was. Overall width at the widest point, you're going to be looking at 10 inches. The nose is and tail are pretty small. They're weigh in at about 2.25 inches long. And the wheelbase from inner bolt to inner bolt is going to be 28.5 inches. Now, as far as the deck itself, this is a really cool board. Let me illustrate with a couple of the differences between its bigger brother here, the switch. Now, as you can see, the switch has a little bit more of a gooseneck that raises right here to drop the deck a little bit lower. And compared to this one, you can see that it just doesn't dip down quite as deep. But there is another advantage that this board holds. It has what you would call a W-style footwell. So the middle part of the footwell here is a lot flatter with a slight raise down the middle like a spine, and the outsides have a heavy lip for carving. So in the inside here you have a nice stable foot area which you can move around on, and even for bigger feet it's pretty accommodating. And all you have to do is shift your foot a little bit to catch that outer ridge to make it carve, which is really a big advantage when you're going downhill and you don't have time to look down and pay attention to where your board's at. It's all feel, which is really nice with this board. As I've got it set up right now, it's not quite our basic setup, but it's a little bit higher up. I switched out the Bear trucks. It comes standard with Randalls, but I switched it out for the Bears because I've become partial to Bears over the last week or two. And they're a really nice, responsive truck. This is our standard boards on Nord wheel that I've got in our standard Rush ABEC 5 bearings. Now, as far as options go, you guys have got quite a few actually. Let me send this stuff out of the way for you. Now, I'm going to go over some of my personal favorites. As far as trucks go, like I said, I'm a big fan of the Bears that I've got on here, but Randalls 180, they're my standard go-to. They're a really basic level, really good truck. Solid, sturdy, and reliable. And then you have something that's comparable, which is a little bit better in quality, is the Paris's. They're a lot shinier. You have a lot of color options, and you can kind of style it to match with the board. I just have the default silver here with me right now. As far as bearings go, there's a couple more options, and it kind of depends on whether you're looking for either the entry level, the intermediate level, or what you can call a professional level. As far as the entry level bearings go, mainly you're going to be looking at a set of Rush ABEC 5s, which like I said comes standard, and they're the ones that I've got mounted on here. And if you're looking to spend a couple dollars more, you'll notice a big difference with the Bones Reds, which are cleanable and allow you to maintain your bearings for a higher quality ride, which I think is always worth it because the Rushes, you can't pop out the shields and clean them. For our intermediate offerings, you're going to be looking at, well, as you can see, there's quite a few options here. We've got the Sector 9 ABEC 7 Cosmic Series, the Rush ABEC 7 Titaniums, the Sector 9 ABEC 9 stainless steels with platinum coatings. I do believe it has a platinum coating on it. Yes, it does. The Bone Swiss, ultra reliable, always a good set of bearings. The Rush all-weather ceramics, which they're not as high a quality as some of the other ceramic bearings out there, so you might want to consider a different set if you're looking for ceramics. They're the cheapest option at, I believe, about a $20 upgrade, but you won't see as big of a performance benefit from these ceramics as you would from like a pair of Bones Swiss ceramics, or even a pair of the Sector 9 Black Ball Race. And a few more of the intermediate options are the Bones Super Swiss 6. I think these personally make you go a little bit faster, especially on those hill runs. Some people tell me they don't notice much of a difference. Some people tell me they do. I swear that I can feel the difference. It's not much, but it's enough to make a difference with the right wheel. So if you get a bigger wheel and put these on them, you'll go a little bit faster than you would if you, say, put a set of regular Swiss on. And then, of course, we have the Rush ABEC 9 titanium coated. And pretty much all of those, with the exception of the Bones, are going to feel roughly the same. I mean, Bones and Sector 9 bearings are really high quality. I would organize it as like Rush on the lower end, Sector 9 runs in the mid-range, and then Bones definitely has the top end bearings for you. And as far as wheels go, we've got even more options, just tons of options here for you guys. But like I said, it's all about personal preference. I don't know whether you guys have seen any of the other videos, but I talk about it a lot. And it's all about what you want, not what anybody else's want. You know, needs, wants. It's all personal preference. Now then, I've got a couple of recommendations. As far as the size of the wheels go, I wouldn't go smaller than a 70 millimeter. Personally, I would go somewhere between a 75 millimeter and like an 80 and 90 on the top end. If you were looking for a 90 millimeter wheel, the flywheels, this is an 83, but the flywheels come in, I believe, a 90 millimeter option as well. So that would be on the big end. I wouldn't get that unless you're really confident of what you're doing and you know how to set it up. Now, where was I? Okay, so the ABEC 11 gumballs is a pretty good option. They're a slalom style wheel with, I mean, they're not the sharpest edge as far as the lip goes here. The big zigs are a little bit sharper, so if you're looking for something that really, really sticks and won't really go out from under you, I would go with the big zigs, but they break in and they'll wear down and pretty much eventually be the same thing. But the gumballs are nice. They come in a few different durometer ratings, and I believe 76 millimeter is their standard size, so I don't believe it gets bigger than that. The big zigs are nice. They're 75 millimeter. Don't remember exactly what durometer these roll in on, but there's a couple of color options there for you. Try it out, find something that matches and looks cool with the board. Once again, the flywheels, which I already discussed, these are the 83. There is a size down from this that is, I believe, a 75 millimeter. So if you're looking for something that's kind of entry level or just not totally designed to bomb hills, I would go with about a 75 millimeter, just because it's right out where this board needs to be. O-tangs are a really good example. The end heats are a really good example of a 75 millimeter slalom wheel that would go perfect with these. I have a set of O-tangs that's lasted me almost 3 years now, and absolutely love them. Can't say a bad thing about them. As long as you break them in appropriately, you know, ride them a little while before you start putting in heavy abuse, these work perfectly. They won't chip, none of that. If you're looking for some sliding options, there's also a couple more out there. And I don't have all the options here with me to show to you guys. And unfortunately, our durian and the yellow, the 86A durometer, so the hardest durometer that orangutan makes, we're currently out of those, so I can't show you guys one. But this is the purple durian, which is an 83A, so it's the mid-range, with the orange being the softest, the purple being the medium, and the yellow being the hardest durometer. Now, if you're looking to slide, I would get the durian in the yellow, the 86A, just because it's going to be a lot nicer wheel to slide on. As you can see, it's more of a freestyle with the rounded lip here on the edge of the wheel, which will make it slide across the ground a lot easier, whereas the slalom style wheel is meant to catch on this outer lip and stop it from sliding. But don't get me wrong, once you break them in, they'll still slide. You just have to put a little bit more effort into it. And then some of the newer options that we've got are the Zombie Hogs, the 76 millimeter. It's a pretty nice wheel. These are made by Landyachtz, so they tie in with a board. And we have these in white and black with a couple of different barometer ratings, depending on what you want. And finally, we have the Monster Hogs, which is more of a slalom style, but it's not really a true slalom because it has kind of a bevel here on the lip, and I doubt you guys can see that, but it kind of bevels out there. And you know, is more of a slalom style that's kind of designed to slide as well, because it doesn't have that sharp lip to grab and catch on the pavement to prevent it from sliding along. But, I mean, you guys have got quite a few options to set this board up. It's a really killer board. I like it just because it's a little bit shorter than that Switch was, so it's not meant for higher speeds, but you can really carve this going downhill. A lot of slide tricks, a lot of possibilities with it. It just depends on your riding style. So if you're looking for a really nice board, I would definitely check out the Landyachtz Time Machine today. Peace. This is Clayton. I'll catch you guys later.